Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to look over a couple of problems that are on the 6267 test review. I've set up a few problems for you here that I'll work on the screen. I'm not going to work all 4 problems, and I'm going to recommend to you strongly that if you don't understand any of the material that we've done in 6267, that you make sure before you take the test that you understand how to do all of the problems in the homework, that you understand how to do all of the word problems as well as the triangle problems. There won't be any heading problems, the north, 72 degrees east, all that kind of stuff. That's not going to be there. But all the other ones are fair game, so make sure that you understand how to do the problems. All right, let's go to the work. On number 2 on your test review, it says from a point on the edge of a cliff 100 feet above a lake, the angle of depression to a boat is 53 degrees. So let's get that part written in, right? So we got a cliff, and we got this guy standing up there looking down at the water. And yeah, I'm on a paint program, so we might as well just have some fun with it. And he's looking down at a boat. Let's say it's a red sailboat, just because that seems like a fun thing to do. And then from there, the guy is looking down from up here. Now, what I want you to consider is that your line of sight is usually horizontal. And when it says the angle of depression is 53 degrees, what it means is, if you're looking down at the boat, the angle of depression is the angle that your eyes move in a downward direction to get down to the boat. So you've got a 53 degree angle here. Now, if you'll remember from geometry class, we know that if you have 2 parallel lines and a transversal, these would be parallel lines. The line of sight and the line of the water would be 2 parallel lines. The transversal would be your line of sight down to the boat. We know that if you have 2 parallel lines and a transversal, that these measures are congruent. Alternate interior angles are congruent. And that's going to be important for us to know. Now, we could build the triangle upside down if you'd rather, but I know that that freaks a lot of my kids out, so I want to go ahead and set that up correctly. So I'm going to take out the red lines, whoops, okay, and just put in those 2 congruent angles here, okay? The other piece of information that they give us there is that the cliff is 100 feet off the level of the lake. Now, what they're asking us for is how far is the boat from the base of the cliff? Well, here's the boat, and here's the base of the cliff. The distance between them is what we're looking for. We're looking for the distance between the base of the cliff and the boat. So the trig equation that we need is going to be from the perspective of the angle, because it always is. We know the opposite side of this angle, and we're looking for the adjacent side on this particular angle. Opposite and adjacent form a tangent relationship. The tangent of 53 degrees is the opposite 100 feet over the adjacent, which is the D, the part we don't know. You can name that any variable you want to, by the way. So that we have D times the tangent of 53 is 100 by multiplying by D on both sides, and then dividing by tangent of 53 on both sides, we have something we can now put into the calculator. So these are going to cancel, and I'm going to put 100 over the tangent of 53 in my calculator, which of course you can't see, but you'll take my word for it, making sure that I'm in degree mode, and I'm going to 75.355. Because I know I'm doing a word problem, I'm going to say 75.355 feet. The units count on word problems, so please make sure that when you put in an answer, you get units as well. So, all right, let's talk about the next one. First thing I do when I'm solving a right triangle is I build the triangle. Okay. I'm going to label it triangle ABC. As always, it doesn't matter which angle is A or B, as long as angle C is the right angle. Side C is the hypotenuse, side B is across from angle B, and side A is across from angle A. They give us two pieces of information, that this angle is 39 degrees, and that this side is 2.1. And what we're going to do is we're going to solve for angle B, we're going to solve for side C, and we're going to solve for side A. So angle B is easy. Because I have one of the angles and I'm looking for the other one, I'm going to keep in mind that 180 degrees minus the other two angles should give me angle B. On side A, and I'm going to do that in just a minute, on side A, I'm going to keep in mind what I have. I have here an angle, and all the trig values are going to come from it. This side is opposite the angle I have, this side is adjacent to the angle I have, and this is the hypotenuse of the triangle. So I'm able to set up a trig equation based on 39 degrees, opposite and adjacent. So that's going to be tangent of 39 degrees is A over 2.1. And on C, I've got adjacent and hypotenuse. So I'm going to say the cosine of 39 degrees is 2.1 over C. And now I solve. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 180 minus 90 minus 39, which is going to give me an angle of 51 degrees. Side A, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2.1, and I'm going to write this down so that when my teacher is grading my test, she knows that I knew what to do. And I'm going to do 2.1 times the tangent of 39, and I'm going to get 1.701. I don't need to worry about units here because they didn't give me units here. Side C, I'm going to multiply both sides by C. C times the cosine of 39 is 2.1. So I'm going to divide and say 2.1 divided by the cosine of 39 should give me this next value, which is 2.702. Okay? Now, again, if you have not finished all of your homework for this section, if you're one of those folks who uses the homework key to get your homework done, I'm not going to hold that against you, but I am going to recommend strongly that you go back and study the problems that gave you difficulty. Go back and study the homework quiz problems that I gave you in class, and hopefully you'll do well on your test. Good luck.